You're listening to the Pittsburgh Piledriver.
What the hell is that?
Podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 this week. This is a continuation of the last episode where we were talking about the 2022 Royal Rumble. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into this thing because I'm sure everybody has a lot to talk about regarding the men's 2022 Royal Rumble match. You know who you got here. Ransom the Madman, Poot the Bard, Beef the Legend, Tiger Bomb Tom. The four of us are here, and we are ready and raring to go. Who wants to start off with their speech, with their speakies, their talky words?
I think that we should have Beef start because I think his will be the most and not meant in a bad way. I think his will be the best soapboxing we'll hear tonight. Go, Beef.
Drive this bus, Beef.
Okay. I don't know that you guys are going to get what you expect out of me, but that might be fun too. So, we talked about a lot of good things on the last episode, and as is our wont, we tend to do one episode where we're very excited about something, and the next episode where we kind of run it down, or vice versa. So, here you go. Here's the Royal Rumble match in its entirety. So, let me say that I liked Lesnar winning. Had zero problem with it. Didn't care that he competed and lost in a title match earlier in the evening. I'll say it again. Brock Lesnar is the closest thing they have to a megastar right now. So they should keep on riding that horse until it gives you nothing else, and then make it glue, man. He's gonna give somebody an awful big rub someday. So I'm all for Lesnar winning. He's now a 2-time winner, which is better than Orton being a 3-time winner. So I'm here for that.
Oh.
Here's where the Rumble went wrong. Too many tag teams. When you have guys like Otis and Gable, and I know that they're the tag team champions. I get that, but even the Street Profits, I don't think that they both need to be in the match. Rude and Ziggler, I don't think they both need to be in the match.
Oh.
Boogs, whatever the hell his name is, he was another one. Madcap Moss. These are all not the best. And I get it. As someone who goes back and watches Rumbles pretty much every year now since the network is a thing. I've seen them at their best, I've seen them at their worst, and I've seen the myriad in between. So a lot of the first Royal Rumbles were like this one, where you had about 5 or 6 people that in the match you were like, okay, this person could win, and then the rest were absolutely ham and eggers, to quote the great Bobby the Brain. Guys that had no fucking reason or purpose to be in the match other than to make somebody else look good.
You telling me that Chad Gable had no chance of winning this Rumble?
I'm telling you that there was no chance in hell that Otis was going to win.
Oh.
So that did not help. But let's be real here. The problem is WWE's inconsistent and lack of building major stars. The last major star they built was McIntyre, who was supposed to be gone for some time, and surprise, surprise, he made a miraculous comeback 2 weeks after he left. I mean, it's not a miraculous comeback if you've been gone 2 weeks. That's a vacation, man. That's not a miraculous comeback. So that I had a big time problem with that too, and I've really soured on McIntyre in the last 2 years. But I think the crux of what everybody's going to say is how big of a deal the Final Four is, and how big of a terrible deal the Final Four was this year.
Can you remind me who was in the Final Four? Because I forget.
Well, we had the winner, Brock Lesnar. We had everybody's favorite Scottish mistake, Drew McIntyre.
Oh.
We had Shane O'Mac, and I think Orton was there too.
Riddle.
Riddle. That's right.
Was Bad Bunny the 5th?
Mhm.
Okay.
So a lot of people take umbrance with Brock showing up and like just eliminating everybody. I don't, because again, he's your mega star. He's your Stone Cold. He's your Rock. He's your Hulk Hogan right now. Like, when Stone Cold hit the Rumble match, what did he do? He eliminated everybody. When John Cena hit the Rumble match, what did he do? He eliminated everybody. Like, that's what you do with your megastars. You have them eliminate everybody. So, like, I got no problem with Lesnar running roughshod over the remaining competitors. I got a real big problem with Bad Bunny in the top 5. I got a real fucking big problem with Shane O'Mac being there so late. I'm not thrilled about McIntyre. I guess I can stomach that one. Riddle is take or leave. Not because I don't like Riddle, but I just don't think that his spot in the card right now denotes that. But I think the real sore thumb right now is Shane O'Mac. And I want to hear what you guys think too. But again, I had no problem with who won it. I was just bored by it and was very pissed off about who was the last in the ring.
Let me hit you with this beef. I read an article, and one of you guys might be able to tell me the validity of the truthfulness of this article or not. But again, this harkens back to the WWE doing change up things at the last minute. But this article stated that before the change up of Bobby Lashley winning the title from Brock originally wasn't supposed to be in it, and the original winner of the Rumble was supposed to have been Riddle.
I'm glad Lesnar won.
Over Riddle, even if Lesnar would have retained his title.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
And again, I'm a big Riddle guy, but right now Riddle and Orton are attached to the hip, so that's something that's going negative with Riddle. Also, Riddle has done nothing on the main roster to make me go, yeah, that guy should win a Royal Rumble. And I don't think that him and Orton's eventual feud, the breakup of RK Bro, I don't think that needs to be involving a title. I think that it's going to be a fine WrestleMania match on its own. But I had not read that. That is brand new information for me. I would have been whelmed if Riddle would have won. I'll be honest.
I wouldn't have even been whelmed. I'd have been underwhelmed. I mean, Riddle needs to, but it would have just been like super out of nowhere. I'm not saying that he shouldn't, Morty. I'm just saying that it would have been like, okay. That's what it would have been.
Isn't that kind of the intrigue of the Rumble?
No.
Like they always say it. Anybody could win. Like they always say that.
Well,
but so many Rumbles in recent past, we've seen winners and have gone, oh yeah, that's what I figured, or oh yeah, that makes sense, or oh yeah.
Who's signing up to see RVD win the Royal Rumble, or Doink the Clown win the Royal Rumble, or
oh come on,
God rest his soul,
we would have
Mr.
all
Perfect winning the Rumble.
We all would have loved Doink the Clown and Doink the Clown and Mr. Perfect. Come on, shut up.
I'm a huge Mr. Perfect guy, but yeah, I mean these guys are absolute mid-carders, and again, I think Riddle could break through. I think that he has the talent absolutely to do it, but for that to happen at this very moment would make 0 sense.
Oh, okay. All right. Tom, how'd you feel about the Rumble?
I didn't like. You guys pretty much hit everything. I don't really have too much more to add to it. Shane O'Mac.
Are you trying to tell me that you're not a fan of Shane McMahon in the Final Four?
Nope.
What?
Nope. Not at all.
I'm outraged.
Again, wasted opportunities on quote unquote surprise entrants that could have had, but you didn't, and you put fucking stupid Shane O'Mac in there instead. Bad Bunny, although he I think surprised everybody and exceeded expectations with his performance at last year's WrestleMania.
Here's another Canadian destroyer.
I don't feel he deserved to be in the top 5. Like, it was good to have him in there. You know, like I said, based off of the respect he's garnered throughout the locker room. Like, I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but there's video of Rey Mysterio giving Bad Bunny his mask from the Rumble that night.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's definitely garnered a lot of respect, and rightfully so. Like, here's okay, a little bit of a diatribe here. There's a little, this is the difference between celebrities like Bad Bunny and celebrities like Johnny Knoxville or fucking
preach, man.
Or anybody else for that matter, where it's literally just a promotional thing and whatever. And like, oh yeah, I'm a fan of wrestling. Okay, whatever. Like, Bad Bunny actually, like, from all accounts, from what we heard, like, really respects the business and everything like that. Put in a lot of training and stuff, and I think it showed last year with his performance at Mania. So fast forward to Royal Rumble, I'm okay with having him come in and have a spot and maybe get an elimination or two. That's fine. But to have him in the top 5 and that close to the end, where you're thinking like, are they actually going to fucking pull the trigger and have Bad Bunny win? Like in the vein of the quote unquote anybody can win. You never know what's going to happen. To plant even that remote little micro seed of possibility, I think is fucking absurd. So I would have been fine if he had his entry into the Rumble a little earlier on, and maybe got eliminated like with, you know, like somewhere around like between 20 and 25. I don't know. Drew McIntyre being, coming back whenever he did, making it to the Final Four, that doesn't really surprise me. They're big on Drew McIntyre. You can tell he's one of their dudes. Vince, has a lot of. He's gonna have he's gonna be in that upper card, for a little while at least. Riddle, yeah, I'm kind of like I'm good with Riddle, but like, I don't see him as your flag bearer champion, or necessarily in that same vein yet. Like, he's be a good Intercontinental or US champ. He did fine as tag champs with Orton, and definitely, got a good rub from being around Orton for so long there, and continuing to do so. But like, I don't see him as that breakout, like, main title guy,
like Big E.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, yeah. So no. That's a good comparison, because I don't think any of us, like, we loved him with the New Day, but we said if and when they break up the New Day, that'll be the guy that gets a good, that could get a good push. Like, sorry, no disrespect to Xavier Woods, love Xavier, as a person and everything like that, and as a performer. But when you say Xavier Woods, do you think of him as a WWE or Universal Champion? No, exactly.
I think he could do it, but
he could. He could. But the way, I don't know if it's I don't know if it's for a lack of them doing things on their end creatively with him, or a lack of him putting in whatever effort or whatever. But I don't see him as that type of guy. Big E, obviously he did it, and I think we could all say that we saw that, before it happened. Kofi, had a long overdue one. It was nice to see that, but he didn't have like a spectacular title reign by any means. It was serviceable. So Riddle's kind of in that same card right now. I could see it, but just not yet.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I think so. The other big problem that the men's Royal Rumble had this year was timing.
Oh,
Like
Oh, yeah.
so when you have a Rumble that is lacking personality, which I think is like on the nose what this one's problem was. It didn't have like the spice, the vim and vigor. It was just there, man. It was like a flat soda. If it's a hot day, you're happy to have it. But like, the women's Rumble honestly was, I'll say it, really good, really enjoyable, very fun. And they then did that, which was like a fart in church, man.
Oh.
But like,
always comes down to being a fart in church with you.
I know, right? Because I can think of very few things that go over worse than a fart in church, and I think that's kind of where WWE is right now.
Oh.
What if it's silent but deadly?
Well,
Imposter.
I think Styles should have been in the mid-teens. I don't hate him being number one, but if you're gonna have him number one, I think he deserved to go coast to coast.
Yep.
Maybe not win, but he deserved to be in the final four.
Same with KO.
Kevin Owens should have been in the guy in the high 20s and definitely been there for like the last hurrah. This shit that they did. So I am always trying to give Baron Corbin chances. I am always trying to find an excuse to go, you know what? Maybe they'll get their shit together with him. Maybe he'll. And I just like at every turn, they're spiting me because him and Madcap Moss eliminated a ton of people in the Rumble. I don't remember exact numbers, but they eliminated quite a few.
Who eliminated Styles? Was it stupid Madcap Moss or was it Boogs?
I don't even remember.
It was
anymore,
one of those
man.
two. It was one of those.
I think it was one of those two ridiculous dudes.
I think it was
one
like,
of those two.
And like, when you have a Rumble without personality like this, like timing is everything. And when you have the middle of the match after Styles is gone, and you have Corbin and Madcap Moss just throwing people, it's like, man, this is really hitting the fucking doldrums here. Like really having a tough time to puff up the sail to get to the end.
Let's not even forget about Omos as well too. What a fucking
waste.
Turd. What a fucking burnt turd covered in fucking Bigfoot's dick hair. Like, God.
Wow.
That's a great descriptor though. And so here's the kicker. So now we're gonna really get into the meat of the issue. Shane McMahon is no longer with WWE. He was let go like Monday, I think, because even though he was not a producer for the match, he ended up producing himself into a Final Four position. And from what I understand, pretty much injecting abject chaos into the Rumble. Like, people were supposed to be in different places. People were supposed to come out at different times. People were supposed to last different times. I honestly think they probably had a different Final Four lineup, and they scrapped it and went with something different because they were like, well, this is different. But let's remember that different always isn't good. Sometimes different is bad, and that's the case here. And you know what? Maybe this is Vince's way of saying, hey, you know what? Let's show everybody in the world that the Final Four in the Rumble don't mean shit. Like this is, everyone thinks they have me pegged. Well, here I'm gonna change the fucking story on him again.
Feel like
Yep.
Vince
Do you
is
think
someone who
s-
likes to get pegged. I don't know.
Do you think that Vince has any inclination, though? Like that's where I have a hard time believing that is that Vince
Bruce
has
probably
any
does.
inclination that like people are suspecting these certain people to be in the Final Four.
Bruce
And
does.
Well, yeah, Bruce does, but like I can't imagine Vince caring enough to go, oh, that's what these people like. He doesn't give a shit what any fucking internet fan or
Bruce
arena
does.
fan thinks.
That's
Yeah,
and that's
I
the
know
thing.
Bruce
Like-
does, but Vince doesn't care.
But that's the thing. Right now, Bruce is Vince's right hand man. Right now, Bruce has his hand so far up Vince's ass that he basically ruined NXT. From all accounts, Bruce was the one behind like the switchover for NXT 2.0, getting Paul out of power because he probably felt that Triple H was too much of a threat to his own power. It's all politics, and right now, Brother Love is playing the best political game of his life.
Oh my god.
Um,
Just fucking
he
kill me now.
Bruce Pritchard is 100% like he knows because he's got a podcast. He's hip. He actually does have his finger on the pulse. I think a little bit more than Vince McMahon, but that just gives him ammo to like work his own agenda.
So go back a second. Explain to me how Shane McMahon is not a producer, yet still produced himself into this Royal Rumble where he was. How did that happen?
He's the boss's
he's a
son.
McMahon. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
So
I know that's kind of a laugh off, but like, it's true.
So Shane just showed up and was like, hey, by the way, you guys need to put me in here, and here are the people I'm going to toss out.
Yep, suck it.
It's
Okay,
especially
all right.
laughable because he has no real power or ownership in WWE right now. He
Like, that's the thing,
signed
though.
on after WrestleMania 32 or like at WrestleMania 32 as like a character, as a wrestler, not like
Yeah,
any
he's
kind
a
of
talent.
backstage person. Right.
He's a talent. He's an in-ring talent. He's not a producer. He doesn't own this, that, or the other thing. Like, how on earth can he come in and go? Like, I get he's a McMahon, sure, but he's got no power.
I mean, in theory, Steph doesn't have a lot of power, and she's been fucking pulling the strings for years.
But
Once a McMahon, always a McMahon.
Yeah,
if
but
if Bruce has so much power, how can Shane come in and go, oh, by the way, this is what we're going to do?
Well, because Bruce knows where the line is.
Yep.
Like,
he knows
Bruce
not
isn't
to
gonna
fuck
go
with
to
another
Vince.
McMahon.
Yeah, Bruce is going to go to Vince and be like, man, your boy's really fucking up out there.
Yeah.
He's going to wait until after said boy has fucked up and then go to Vince and be like, hey, man, the wrestlers are pissed because Shane did this. That way, Bruce is currying more favor now after the fact. And I'm not saying that Bruce was the one that got Shane fired, but it would not shock me either. Because, again, political plays are political.
Where would you like to see Shane McMahon show up?
Nowhere.
Fucking
He's
his
not going
house.
anywhere.
His fucking house and some loafers.
I think the only reason why Shane McMahon showed up in WWE so much was because it was his dad's company,
Yep.
Yeah.
and he was going to make a buco bucks off of the events that he was at. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell we see Shane McMahon anywhere else wrestling related. Like, there's not a chance.
I was just spitballing.
Hell
I mean, it
has
would be
no
fun. Like,
fury.
don't
Yeah,
get me wrong.
Hell has no fury like a McMahon scorned.
Well, yes, that's true. And don't get me wrong. As much as we all complain about Shane McMahon in this particular Royal Rumble, if Shane McMahon shows up some night on AEW Dynamite, I'm gonna pop. Like, I'm gonna I'll forget how disgusted we were at this Royal Rumble. I would pop because it's a McMahon showing up on a different wrestling show.
As long as it's only a cameo, like his one on Rollerball, I'm fine with it. Was that the name of that movie? Was Rollerball? What the hell was it? It was something else.
Ready to
Moneyball.
rumble?
Nope.
like,
It was the. It was
Blade Trinity.
It was, nope. It was the movie that Heyman was in as a commentator. It was like
Hey, Dickface, you seen my dog? One of the best lines in movie history.
Soviets and like I forget the plot of it, but it was about like a fucking roller derby tournament or whatever. Where the fucking like the bourgeoisie like rose up and like fought the power and everything else. Shano had a cameo in that where they showed him for like 3 seconds. He turned and he like gave this like weird fucking look and then like that was it. But yeah, like I don't want Shane Mac anywhere near AEW or New Japan or Impact or Ring of Honor. Shane Mac's an old man. He just needs to stay home, and because he has other successful business ventures, I do believe.
Yes, he does. This firing, is this a... All right, well, we're going to can him until Mania. Let the waters settle. We'll ease him back in so that everybody will be like, oh, well, he got fired. He learned his lesson. Like, oh, good. It's Shane, good old Shane. We forgive you. Because allegedly there were plans for Shane McMahon versus somebody at Mania. Is this a placating people firing and he'll be back at Mania? Or is this oh, okay, he's done. He's out. Get out. Because like you said, he's the boss's son.
Either. I think that this could be something where he goes away for a while and then comes back. I don't know that it will be like this year for Mania. Because, I mean, realistically, when else does he pop up but WrestleMania? So maybe he skips this year, or maybe he shows up in Tampa next year. I don't know, man. If I never see another Shane O'Mac match in my life, I'm okay.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, like, if you're looking for somebody to do a high spot, they have tons of great people. Ricochet, for God's sakes, throw him a fucking bone. Let him get thrown off of something really high.
Why do we do something sensible like that? Come on now.
No, never.
No, and I agree, but I'm saying that, like, if they're looking to do something with somebody, falling off of something high, that would be the way to go. But yeah, I mean, he reminds me a lot of Ric Flair in the sense that I think he shows up whenever he needs some money.
Well.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. So
I mean, let's be honest. Not like you and I needing money for like gas or groceries, but like, hey, I want to add a new wing onto my house money.
Yeah, I need a new yacht. My existing yacht's getting some barnacles. I need a new yacht.
I can't.
But
the whole Johnny Knoxville thing in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a bad feeling that's not over.
Why?
Did you see?
Yeah.
Well,
Sami Zayn got kicked off the red carpet.
Yeah, Sami Zayn showed up at the Jackass premiere on the red carpet.
But why?
Had some sort of altercation with Johnny Knoxville.
But why though?
And was escorted out and kicked out.
Oh, but why though?
Exactly. The pit of my stomach is bubbling that we're gonna see a Sami Zayn and a Johnny Knoxville thing happen at WrestleMania. Because just like the Rumble, Vince loves these celebrity things that happen at WrestleManias.
The problem is that you're putting someone the quality and caliber of Sami Zayn in that position.
That's what he does, though. Like him and Owens worked with Bad Bunny last year. Him and Owens worked with Shane O'Mac the few years prior. Like that's what they do. They make people who don't wrestle
look good.
like
No.
fucking diamonds.
Yeah, and okay, you're putting two people in there who have the talent and capability of making that happen. Okay, yes, that's that argument. We got that out of the way. It's still just one of those things that just absolutely infuriates the piss out of me. It just makes me so mad because they could do so many things with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and all these guys that are the caliber that they are, and they just don't. They put them in these positions because they're just like dance monkey dance. Like it's just like I hate it. I don't know if I'm just being a little bit belligerent, but it's so infuriating to me because I think back to now, aside from his indie career, I think back to Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura on NXT. Good God. Nakamura's first match. Oh, it was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece of pro wrestling. And not taking anything away from Shinsuke Nakamura at all. Not trying to do that. But it's just fuck.
Yeah.
No, I feel exactly what you're saying. And these two guys who continue to be misused
signed
re-sign
big
with
money
WWE.
contracts. That's their choice, man. They're happy being the gatekeepers. They're happy being the bridesmaids. And I mean, like history needs those people. And again, I know that we're not trying to veer off into AEW territory really, but right now they're pretty fully loaded. And if they're even thinking about bringing on Gargano, Cross, or Lee, like they're ultra stacked right now. The last thing I would want to do, and I mean, I know that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are good friends with the Bucks, good friends with Adam Cole, like all those PWG guys kind of ran together. I understand that they're like, a clique, if you will, but I think that they can see that maybe from a creativity point they're going to be stifled, but like they're always featured at WrestleMania. They're always in a big time WrestleMania match. Every year they're, and I mean, again, here's the other side of it. When Bad Bunny shows up at WrestleMania and he's in the ring with KO and Sami Zayn, guess what? When people are showing clips on talk shows, on ridiculousness, on the fucking Grammys, whatever, guess who's going to be in those spots? Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. So like when fucking LeBron James or whoever wants to come over and do some shit, ESPN is going to be showing clips of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I get it. I really do. It sucks. It really sucks, but it is what it is at this point.
So I have a non-WWE Royal Rumble related question. Has anybody heard?
That's a weird sentence.
Yeah, right. I don't think it came out right. Shh, don't talk about it. Has anybody heard who Roman Reigns is currently scheduled to face at Blood Money Infinite?
Probably. Well, it's not gonna be Rollins. I don't know.
Because I'm staring at an article right now that says Roman Reigns is scheduled to face Tom's favorite superstar at Blood Money Infinite.
No.
I'm done. Done. Fucking shut it down. Shut this fucking recording down.
That's amazing.
So how Beef, you know all these. Well, I mean, you know of all these like writing people.
Yeah.
How accurate is this Ross Sapp guy?
Sean Ross Sapp? Yeah, he's pretty reliable.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so that's what he's reporting. He's reporting that that's the plan.
I fucking hate my life.
Listen, look at it this way. Look at it this way. There's no way that A. Goldberg goes over on Reigns. Zero chance.
Don't fucking say that, because Ransom said there was no chance that anybody outside the P3 would take the title, and look what happened. Don't fucking curse us there, Ricky Bobby. Don't do it.
That's true, because I also said at that one Blood Money that there's no way that they're going to take the title off of The Fiend didn't give it to Goldberg.
Look what fucking happened. Don't ever say never with fucking WWE and crazy ass fucking geriatric Vince McMahon. I fucking hate my life right now.
Lesnar versus Goldberg for WrestleMania. Oh man, that was so terrible.
I'll be back. I'm going to grab a bottle of Fireball and just drink straight from the bottle. I'll be back.
No, don't do it. Oh no, Tom.
No,
Yeah,
I mean,
so
but
if that's what that dude's reporting,
Listen,
that's
there's
you know what? Take solace in it. We're not watching. So this is the perfect place for that match to take part.
There's another guy that showed that like fucking Ric Flair when he needs to make alimony payments, he shows up on camera. You just wait. You give Ric Flair, Slick Rick will be back on camera in a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, because he's got a new alimony payment to pay. So he's gonna need some fucking more money. Goldberg's another fucking dollar sniffer that, you know, I came back to show my son the superheroes are real, blah, blah. No, you came back because you needed money because people forgot about your old.
I don't think he needed money. I think he wanted money. I think he wanted to do it, and the money was good.
Right. Again, not like you and I need money, like, you know, to fix our brakes. Goldberg wants to buy a fucking new like Camaro or some shit.
Oh, we're still talking about this fucking piece of shit.
Well, listen, Tom. Here we go. Though good news though is this guy's also reporting that on Goldberg's WWE deal, he's got one match left. So after this match, his deal is up.
That doesn't mean
hopefully it doesn't go further. Hopefully one or the other parties decide that they don't want to do the thing. But
8 months later.
So
8 months later, bum, 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 bum.
Nobody's wrong here.
He'll be in the Rumble next year.
I always feel like.
I'm sorry.
I always feel like Goldberg is like Lesnar, where they're like, yeah, you know what? I can come back and work 10 days over 3 years. Sure, give me $3 million. What the hell? And that's, you know, just the state of Vince McMahon's WWE right now. Like, that's where we are with it. You know, when they have a big star, remember 2020. No, I don't remember now. Was it 2021? I don't remember. When the Rumble that they had, I think it was 2021. The Rumble that they had in the Thunderdome, before it was the Thunderdome, when McIntyre won. Remember how excited we were for McIntyre?
Pepperidge
and
Farm
we're like, and we were like, man, they can't screw this guy up. He's so great. And then, like, it's just been awful since. Like, he got the belt, and we're all like, boy, this is a terrible run. And then, like, since then, we're all like, man, what the hell's going on with McIntyre? We just don't want him near the main event. And it's been months, probably damn near 6 months, since he's been in the main event for a title. And we're all, like, starting to, like, groan that he's, like, that he's final two in the Rumble. And this, that, and the other thing. So even when they build a new star, like, they crush it. It's uncanny. It is uncanny that even whenever they get something right that they so often fuck up, they then fuck it up anyway. Yeah.
Where the hell was Cesaro?
Yeah.
In this Royal Rumble?
Wasted.
Well,
Speaking of a guy who could have won the Royal Rumble,
Mm-hmm.
that I would have been excited to see win the Royal Rumble and have an exciting title match at WrestleMania, he's not even in the event.
Nope.
What's happening?
Yeah. Well, remember last
Johnny
year at
Knoxville's
WrestleMania?
there. Thank God.
Listen.
Remember last year at WrestleMania when he beat Rollins, and we're all like, did he beat Rollins? I think he did.
Yeah, he did.
When we're all like, oh, he signed a new contract, so they're gonna start treating him like gold.
Nope.
than a year goes by, and he's not even in the Royal Rumble. You know who else wasn't in the Royal Rumble? Finn Balor.
Yep.
Well, that's
No,
no
there
surprise
was-
because
there was-
he's on Vince McMahon's poo-poo list. 'Cause
I
Vince
have
McMahon doesn't see anything in him.
There was.
I have a request. Before we go any further with more disappointment. I believe the title of this episode should be called Cirrhosis Take Me Now. So, cheers.
Oh no, Fireball!
Oh, go ahead, Poot.
I
Don't give any
know.
Fireball to Poot.
I'm just so sad because the Rumble is one of my favorite events. And like the fact that these discussions have come about from one of my favorite events just makes me hold on, give me a second. Thank God for
Oh dear.
Thank God for beer.
I agree. But you know, at least we have the Women's Royal Rumble, and that's the thing. Like, now that they have 2 Royal Rumbles, we can say, well, you know, even if they're not batting 1,000, you know, 1 out of 2 ain't bad, right?
No, it still is.
It
but
really, really is.
Here's the infuriating thing, and I don't know if I don't know. I was talking to I don't know if you were out getting rehydrated at this point in time, Beef, before we started this episode, but WWE can do it. They can do it. They can do it right.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen examples, recent examples where they can do it right.
Mhm.
The Women's Rumble match this year, that was done right. Like I have no complaints about how they booked that Women's Rumble match. I thought it was freaking fantastic. The rest of this pay-per-view was very, very good. And then what you book as your closing match, the highlight of your show, was such a stinker. It was such a downer that left you you were excited the whole pay-per-view. And then after the end of that match, all the wind was taken out of my sails. I was just deflated and defeated. I'm like, why? But why? Why? What do you do here? They should have booked the Women's Rumble match to have been the closer. Like it should have been, because then you could have ended this pay-per-view on a high note, and you could have come away from this pay-per-view going, fuck, stupid Shane McMahon. But hey, that Women's Rumble match was amazing. Like, I loved it. And I know exactly what's going to happen, because it happens every single time. WWE will show off one of these events where, for the most part, they do it right, and they make you happy, and they leave you pleased. But then the next 5 following are just the drizzling shits. And I know Beef gets excited for shut up.
Sorry.
I know Beef gets excited for Mania time. He does every year. And I don't want to be the toilet brush that just has been used and abused, and you try to clean something with it, but it still winds up grimy and nasty because it's a used, nasty toilet brush. I don't want to be the toilet brush to Beef's WrestleMania. I don't want to do it.
Do it.
But I don't know that I can sit here on the podcast and listen to him get excited and prattle on about how great WrestleMania is going to be, because every time I get excited, every time they do something to make me go, you know what? This might be the turning point. That last one was pretty you know what? I have faith again. Every time they do it, it's a grand disappointment. And the worst part about all of it is that they can do it, because this entire event up until the Men's Rumble was proof positive that they have the ability to book something that we enjoy, that we talk about, and that we have fun with. Why they refuse to do that, I don't know why. But I'm very hesitant for Mania, because we're coming off of this Rumble, which was, for the most part, a great event. They're not going to do it twice in a row. They're not going to do Great Rumble and Great Mania. It's not in the cards.
last year, night one of Mania was excellent. It was damn near perfect.
So let me stop you, son. Night one of Mania was damn near perfect. What was the very start of night two?
I'm aware. I
lynching
remember.
of the Fiend. They should have just called off the match and said, you know what? Instead of having this match, we're just gonna go out back with Vince and Bruce and Johnny. What's his nuts? The not Legion of Doom guy.
Johnny Ace. Oh no. Johnny Ace.
Yeah, Johnny Ace. We're just gonna go out back and we're just gonna dig a hole. And instead of having this match, we're just gonna have an actual legit live burial where we put Wyndham Rotunda in the ground and throw fresh soil on top of him. I was riding high off of WrestleMania Night 1. It was fantastic. I damn near crashed 4 times on my way home from Tom's because I was so tired.
Oh, I remember
but
that.
Overall, it was a fantastic fucking event that they ended it with Bianca Belair and the hair whip heard around the world. It was fantastic. And then they do the exact fucking thing night 2. All the wind, all the sails, they set the ship on fire and let it fall crumbling into the ocean with the very opening match. Don't tell me, Beef, about how great night 1 of WrestleMania was last year, because all I can remember is the Fiend getting sniped from the bell tower by freaking Mark Wahlberg.
And that
stop it.
And that's the thing is like, you want to talk about fuck ups on WrestleMania and everything like that. Like that was the epitome of a fuck up because it put a just shroud over the second night. And I remember us all sitting there just being like, what the fuck? Why? But fucking why?
Well, we didn't watch it together.
Putin I did, and Putin was constantly trying to talk me out of it. He's like, hey man, you got to buck up. You cannot bring this negative energy into the tournament. And I was like, no man. Fuck the tournament and fuck you, Walter. I was out.
He was
as soon
was done.
As soon as that shit happened, I was like, I washed my hands of the whole fucking thing. I was ready to.
I did too.
I think
I put New Vegas on.
That's
what happened.
No,
I
legit thought that we were gonna do. We were going to rewatch night 1 or watch older Manias, and he was just going to shut it off and be done. But, like, you want to talk about fuck-ups. Why don't we talk about one of the biggest fuck-ups from the Men's Rumble? That was a legit, fuck-up. You ready for this? Ladies and gentlemen, our rogue, Kofi Kingston, fucking up and not making that jump. He had a good long run of 10 years of doing those goofy Mania spots and everything like that. I know you hate them, but there were a lot of them. There were a lot of them that were fun. But if you can go 10 years without a fuck up and then have one, and the thing is, he sold it really well. Like it almost felt like, oh, all these other years, okay, Kofi's going to do something cool, and then his feet hit the ground, and they were like, no, you got to go. And he had that look on his face of like dejected, like that kind of elder statesman of the new day, that veteran going, maybe I don't have it anymore. You know what I mean? He sold it pretty well, but still, it was definitely like
My favorite part was Owens on him immediately being like, nope, your feet touch, get him out, you lose, Kofi, you lose, get out. What a fucking treasure. Listen, man.
The problem there, though, is, let me say this. The problem with that is not with Kofi. My shame on you is with WWE production. Because with all of the times that Kofi has nailed it, you're bound to fluff it up. Like, it's bound to happen. There could have definitely been a camera angle. It could have been the hard camera that showed the ring and everything, and would not have caught his feet. Excuse me. And once he had his grip, once he was there, that's when you could have showed the floor camera, showing him holding onto the thing. Like in high profile things like that, when there's so much room for error, that I feel like that's on your production. Like you should be well aware, hey, these guys are in the ring. Hey, a lot of these guys are oiled up. Hey, a lot of these guys are hot and sweaty. Slippy doos are going to happen. Let's not have the camera right there to catch when his feet freaking touch. I'm done.
I feel like this is karma. So
Your karma.
I am not a wet blanket.
She's back.
I am not
She's
trying to like
back.
pappy this. I'm not trying to be the back in my no. I'm not doing that. I enjoyed a couple of the Kofi spots, but like, and I know that we've done this to fucking death, but when you land on your back, you're out. When you are standing on a chair like a pogo stick, you're out. When you're walking on a platter of pancakes, you're out. When you're walking on the barricade, you're out.
When you're walking on the floor on your hands, you're out.
I'm a lot softer on that. Like the hands, I think are okay.
Oh, I'm not. You're walking on. You're out of the ring. You were thrown over the top rope, and your body is on the floor. What's the difference between feet and hands? Two of your appendages are touching the floor.
What's the difference between feet? That has to be the name of the episode. What's the difference between feet and hands?
I mean, really, like, well, both.
You're
my
not wrong.
feet didn't touch the floor, but both of my butt cheeks did. Well, you're technically still in. Like, I don't know. It's not a big old dog.
The point here is that I think WWE took something that was fun and they beat it to death. Then they brought out the Necromancer Undertaker, revived it, and beat it to death a second time. What's that? WWE taking something that should be a great idea and ruining it? I don't believe it. John Cena, Roman Reigns. I don't believe that at all. So I hope, man. And I love Kofi. I'm a Kofi guy. Ever since he teamed with CM Punk, I was like, this guy, he's going places. No ill will to Kofi. I like Kofi a lot. I think they did him dirty with his title reign. But all that being said, excuse me, I think that these spots are dumb. And I hope that this is the end of the run. I want Kofi to get to the Royal Rumble next year. I want him to have a nice time. And I want him to get eliminated. I don't want him to fucking bounce like a rubber band all over the place. Or one of those fucking slap hands where he fucking hangs on the wall like Spider-Man. No. Kofi throws some people out. And then it gets tossed out. And that's that. And then from then on in, it's over.
WWE loves their redos. They love their tries again. Mark my words. I will bet you and your wife a nice dinner at a nice restaurant that come next year, we will see an exact redo of this. He gets knocked off, super balls himself over to the thing, and latches on the exact same way he did this time, only he nails it. Climbs up on the barricade and gives the crowd the old, hey, I got it this time. I did it this time. Look, you remember last year when I didn't do it? I did it. They love that stupid shit. They love
You're not wrong.
it.
It was Sonya Deville that pulled that shit with Naomi. Like, Naomi looked like she was going to be doing that stupid shit. And Sonya Deville was like, nope, we're done. Like, I thought that was a wonderful spot. And that's why I thought the Kofi thing was a work. I thought we were all just being worked. It wasn't until after the fact that I read that it was, shoot, and that he legit, wasn't supposed to get eliminated. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Because the way Owens reacted immediately. Like, Owens was on top of it. And he's like, oh, he hit. He's out. Get him out. 2 feet. Get him out. Like, so I'm like, oh, this was supposed to happen. This is like, the year that Naomi and Kofi Kingston get their comeuppance, which, again, is due.
But and look, can we just, I don't want this to turn into a KO D suckfest, but damn it.
No, let's suck that D.
How good is he, man? Every minute that he's not the WWE champion is a crime because his reaction time to shit is so freaking fast. Like, he didn't even wait for the referee to go over and tell him, like, oh, hey, Kofi, man, we caught that on camera. We caught your feet hitting the ground. If they hadn't caught that on camera, like, Kevin Owens had no idea that they caught that on the right camera. No idea whatsoever. Yet there he was, yelling at him from inside the ring. Your feet touched. I saw you. Get him out. He's out. He had no idea. Like, that camera shot could have not even have been what we saw. But KO was on it instantly, calling him out and yelling and doing his KO thing. Like, that man is so quick on stuff. It's a crime that he's not the WWE champion or the Universal champion. Like, that dude should be main eventing left and right.
Yeah, I mean he's got a he's a lot like Triple H. I think the Triple H had the same like mind for the business, but I think that Kevin Owens thinks on his feet a little bit more. And I'll tell you what, man, if Kevin Owens lost like 75 pounds, I bet you he'd be the fucking strap holder. But like as long as he's a husky boy, I don't think Vince will ever give him the love he deserves.
That's just so stupid.
Damn shame. Just like the men's Royal Rumble match, where we sat here and we were like, oh, what if this happened? I mean, realistically, you know, Cody Rhodes was never going to show up. Moxley was never going to show up. AEW was never going to be part of it. But they could have brought somebody in from TNA. I mean, they already brought in Mickey, so they could have brought in Moose. They could have brought in fucking
That's actually one thing we didn't touch on, and I got to say I'm actually really impressed with is the fact that they, you know, I know they had already previously recognized her on commentary as the you know, TNA or Impact
champion.
Impact Women's Champion. The fact that they let her come to the ring with her title
and her music.
Yeah. Holy shit. Like that, I think honestly, that's one of the most impressive things I've seen WWE do in recent memory. Like where I actually have to step back and like
stop it. Because you know what? Remember how her tenure with WWE ended. Her tenure with WWE ended with her shit being sent back to her in a fucking garbage bag.
I agree. That's fucking ridiculous.
They owed this to her at the very least.
Okay, Beef. Yes, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But the fact that they actually came through and, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, complied with you know, reparations for her, basically, like for like, hey, we really fucked up. Here, we're going to do this for you. The fact that they actually did that, because just like we've said in last episode, and like we continuously talk about, Vince likes to fucking decide shit on the fly and make day of decisions. So they could have been like, oh yeah, we're going to let you come out with your title and everything. And then day of, they can be like, well, you know what? We're going to change something up here. They could have reneged on that, and they didn't. So I will give credit where credit's due. The fact that they actually did it, good on them.
I wonder if she had that written into her contract, though.
I hope she did.
Like her contract to appear. Like it would not have put it past me for her to it wouldn't have put it past me for her to have requested permission from TNA to be like, hey, they want me to do this. Can I do it? And it really wouldn't surprise me if TNA was like, you know what? We should have our legal people look this contract over for this. And if they're going to screw you, or if they're going to give opportunities to have you screwed out of something, we're going to catch it, and we're going to make sure it's legally documented that this is what they're going to do.
Right.
Because I think that would have been the smartest thing. Like Beef said when we were watching the event, even before the trash bag incident, WWE has had a history of disrespecting this woman because of the whole like Michelle McCool, Layla thing when they fought against Mickie James, and they had that whole Piggy James gimmick because she wasn't the thinnest woman on the roster. Like, they had a history of royally disrespecting Mickie James when Mickie James is a wealth of talent.
Right.
So I'm sure she took no chances at all with this deal.
Oh no, I'm sure.
Go ahead, Pip.
I was gonna say, I think honestly that even if any of that wasn't the case, the legal things are looking over stuff or any of that jiggery pokery. I honestly think that WWE would not want the really shitty optics on that grand of a stage to kind of put someone like that under thumb, especially someone as well respected as Mickie James.
With the history, especially with the history that they've done, yeah, I think they were gonna, I think that they were going to take no chances and make sure that they made her look good because of how insanely shitty it ended with those two. So and you know, she got to eliminate Michelle McCool, which is like, haha, got you back for all that years of bullying. I understand what they did and I respect it, but I'm not going to applaud them because this is what they should have done in the first fucking place. So good on them, yes, but that's like
They owed it to her. It wasn't
that's like congratulating somebody as stopping at a red light before making a turn. It's like, yeah, okay, like great job doing exactly what you were supposed to do.
Let me ask this:
Yes?
Is this a door? Is this a door that they've opened here with potentially bridging outside of the company? And I know we talked about it before, but after seeing it and seeing the reception she got, because she got a pretty big pop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So do you think this helps to make that bridge between potentially WWE and, let's say, Impact? Are we potentially going to be able to see more, or do you think this was strictly a, hey, we need bodies, she's going to get a big pop, maybe we owe her a little bit, so this is a one and done?
I think it's someone looking in the mail slot of the door. I think that's what it is. Like, I know that's
not necessarily going to happen, but
yeah,
it could be one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe it could be.
Yeah, it's them looking and being like, hey, sup? And that really is kind of it. You know, I don't mean to be a negative Nancy, but like, I think that's kind of what it was. And I think it was WWE also in the same vein to put good optics on themselves for exactly what, we were saying is like to kind of make up a little bit of ground for the bullshit they pulled with her.
Well, and I think that their reception to this, like how they handled it, so they did what they were supposed to do. Again, good job. But like now that it's over, they could look back and go, hey, there could be something here. Will it lead to more appearances like that? I don't know. Will it lead to a potential situation where like Impact talents will say, you know what? Maybe I'll go to WWE as opposed to AEW. That's a possibility. High on the list right now is Josh Alexander. They actually used his name in AEW last night. He's a guy that I'm betting
did.
WWE would love to get their hands on before he gets over there. So, like,
the only reason we hired you was to get at Josh Alexander.
Yep.
Man, what a burn! What a burn!
And so I know that we're talking about Royal Rumbles, but I have to say it. I love Dan Lambert. I think that he has grown leaps and bounds in his position on AEW, and I think that he's one of my favorite parts of Dynamite now. Like, I usually do other things when I'm watching Dynamite, playing video games. I was doing my taxes this morning. But, like, when Dan Lambert comes on, like, my eyes are glued to the screen because he's a heat magnet. He's always got something fun to say, and he's always very quick-witted. I think the promo between him and Brandy last night was top notch. But yeah, that was my little Dan Lambert gush fest.
Yeah, well, I mean, and with good cause, because man, that guy knows how to cut a promo. Like, woof.
Yeah, man,
super good.
So I think that's about all we got time for. And I mean, I think we've pretty much beaten the horse to death here. But again, to end on a high note, I think it was a good show. I think the men's rumble was passable. I've seen a lot worse. A lot worse. Is it top 10 all time? No. Is it bottom 10 all time? Probably not. It's somewhere right there in the middle. And the show was good. Better than expected. So at the end of the day, like, if WWE can do that, if they can give me better than expected, I'll take that every time.
Agreed. So are you guys ready for some Mexican food? Okay, you guys ready for Mexican food? Here we go. Thank you very much for listening to the P3 podcast. Thank you very much to our sponsors. Lovely sponsors. Mr. Casual Gaming Casual Gaming Dad himself, our very own Tiger Bomb Tom. And again, go check him out on Facebook. Search on Casual Gaming Dad and look him up. Plays a lot of awesome games every Tuesday. We play Among Us, and it's a blasty blast. And he plays a lot of other awesome games too. And you also can get some merch. If you're just like this Casual Gaming Dad guy, I like the cut of his jib. I would like some jib to put on my cut. Well, you can. Go to gouldgaming.com. and search on Casual Gaming Dad. Buy some awesome Casual Gaming Dad merch and get your very own P3 podcast shirt. You can have one. They're fantastic, and they fit very comfy. Also, we want to go ahead and thank Mr. Ransom the Madman. I want to thank his YouTube channel, Frig Off Ransom. It's very funny, very hilarious. Always, every single time, gets my my chuckle button pushed. So I appreciate that. We also want to thank Mr. Sean. Just like that.
Busted.
I'm so sorry to interrupt.
You like chuckle buttons?
I'm so sorry.
What the fuck is happening here?
Son of a bitch. I apologize, Poop, for interrupting, but you hit me at the wrong time and I couldn't mute in time.
Listen,
good Lord.
you can always interrupt me with your giggles at my stupid jokes. It always gives me a nice little feel good moment.
Button.
Yeah, it hits my chuckle button pretty good. And we want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work. Seth Rollins, you going full Seth Rollins there?
Yes.
No.
Walking down the ring, the Shield, man.
Seth Rollins, I'm here.
And we want to thank Mr. Sean Tischler and his work with independent pro wrestling in the Pennsylvania area, specifically Central Pennsylvania area. For myself, the Barbarian Poot the Bard, baby, Mr. Casual Gaming Dad himself, Tiger Bomb Tom, Beef the Legend, our veritable encyclopedia of wrestling knowledge, and, of course, the wild card.
No.
Oh, no. Don't bring it back. Ransom the Madman. Everybody, have a wonderful time whenever you're listening to this. Bye.